Hi, thank you for joining. I'm glad you want to know more about the season that you're in. Winter is here, and this is your season of deep rest, where everything slows down so you can return to yourself. There's usually a point in every healing journey where the mind just wants to keep going, but the body and the soul just say no. Not out of fear, but because there's something inside that still needs to be reassembled. Winter is not punishment, it's not a detour, and it's not something you rush through. Winter is that sacred space where your old ways lose the grip, but the new ones haven't taken form yet. It's a space in between, not being stuck, but just recalibrating. You might not look productive, you might not feel inspired or social or even clear, and that can be scary as shit, especially if you build your sense of worth on output, on movement, on resilience. But winter is not about how well you perform, it's about how deeply you're willing to surrender. If you're in winter, you probably feel very unmotivated. Maybe you're thinking, what's wrong with me? You might start things here and there, but you just don't have the energy to see them through. You might feel unusually sensitive emotionally, physically, energetically. You might be withdrawing yourself from people or overstimulating situations. Even rest might feel uneasy. You're not sure how to just be. But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something right that is happening inside you that doesn't fit in external timelines. And the current world doesn't model or reward this kind of pause. Your nervous system might be confusing rest with danger. You might interpret your need for quiet as laziness and your emotional exhaustion as a failure. But this is a myth to dismantle right here. Winter is not a setback, it's a requirement. So, what's the purpose of all this? What's the purpose of winter? Just look to nature. A tree during winter doesn't stop being a tree. It doesn't panic when its branches are bare, and it doesn't doubt that spring is coming. The tree knows that this part is essential. It stops sending energy outwards so it can pull everything back to the roots, not because it's dying, but because it's prioritizing survival, strength, regeneration. And the same is true for you. You might have spent months, if not years, extending your energy outwards, holding things together, making decisions, supporting others, chasing meaning. And last season, in autumn, you might have been grieving what didn't work and hoping for what might. All that level of output comes at a cost. And winter is your body's way of asking you to settle that debt, not by doing more, but by finally allowing yourself to stop. You need to meet yourself in this moment of pause and not performance. Winter is not a time to force clarity. It's about building intimacy with the unknown. It's not asking you to fix everything. It's just asking you to feel what you've been too busy to face. So you might find yourself sleeping a little bit more, trying to repair things you can't name yet. Maybe feeling quiet. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you haven't found the words yet. And the biggest one is you might find yourself even letting go of roles, being the caregiver, being the achiever, being the planner, the one that always has a solution. You might still be feeling some grief here, but there's also relief. Because in winter, you don't have to pretend anymore. And even within this awareness, winter can still be disorienting. You might be asking yourself, am I depressed or am I healing? Is this really necessary or am I falling behind? What if I never get my energy back? And it's part of the season too. Winter is not linear or comfortable, but winter isn't failure. It's fertile darkness. Think of it like compost. Everything that seems old, broken down, but all of that is rich with potential. You're not wasting time. you're building soil, building the ground. So, as your friend right now, what I would say to you in this moment is you don't need a 12-step plan. You just need softness and simplicity. Create a little sanctuary space for yourself, even just one corner of your room, like me sitting on this sofa. Choose stillness over stimulation. Let yourself feel bored so your nervous system can recalibrate. Cook warm food, wear soft clothes, be cozy, and replace the urgency with presence. When that little voice says, you should be doing more, just whisper back, that's not what I need right now. And above all things, just drop the timeline. Healing doesn't happen on a deadline, but what will happen next for you? Eventually, without forcing it, you will feel something shift. A little spark, a curiosity, a little thought of maybe I could try again. And that's going to be the signal that you're ready for spring. But don't chase it, let it arrive to you. In winter, you're not losing momentum, you're setting the roots. So when spring comes, you will build. But this time, it's going to be from a place of rest, not from reaction. So, with all that, take your time, and I'll see you in your next season. Bye.